Let's look at some application questions about the sine law. So the first question says the spray from a watering hose spans 30 degrees, reaching both a cluster of tulips and a daisy, which are 20 decimeters apart, as shown in the diagram below. If the water hits the root of the daisy at a 45-degree angle from the ground, how far does the water travel to reach the daisy? So we're looking for x here. So we have a triangle, it's not a right triangle, so we know automatically that we need to use the sine law because it's the only tool we have right now for triangles that are not right. The first thing we do in any sine law problem is we label what we're given. So we can label the triangle ABC, it doesn't really matter. So let's do A, B, C. All right, and let's label the sides. So it's going to be A, this is B, and this is C. So we're looking for C. So to find C, it would be very useful if we had angle C. Now we're not given angle C, but we can find it. So I know that angle C, it's the only angle in this triangle that we don't know. So I know it's going to be 180 minus 45 minus 30, which is 105 degrees. So I can label that as 105. Now I can set up my sine law. So I don't know, let's see, I know B, the angle B and the sine B. So let's use that, and we also were looking for C. So let's use the one with B and C. So sine B over B is equal to sine C over C. So if we fill in what we know, sine 30 over 20 is equal to sine 105 over x. We can then cross multiply, so x times sine 30 is equal to 20 times sine 105. We divide each side by sine 30. Solve for x. So we get that x is 38.6 decimeters. All right, so first example, done. Let's do another one. So Bridget is flying a kite in the park, which Amy observes from a 75-degree angle at elevation from the ground as shown in the diagram. If Amy and Bridget are 25 decimeters apart, I don't know what's up with the decimeters today, but whatever, and Bridget is holding the kite string taut at 25 decimeters, at what angle of elevation from the ground is the kite string? Okay, so let's finish labeling this triangle. They've already kind of started. A and B, this is C. This is also going to be C. B and A. So we're looking for this angle, but we don't have the side length B. That means that we're going to need to solve. So what we're going to do is find C, because we have enough information to find C, and then do 180 minus 75 minus angle C, which is going to be our x. All right, so we're going to look for this angle first, and then when we have that angle, we can use it to find x. So let's set this up. Sine A over A is equal to, what are we given? Sine C over C. All right, so sine of A, 75, over 25 is equal to sine C over, well, also 25. Wait a second. this is an isosceles triangle. That means, we can do the algebra, but we can know from this that C is going to also be 75, right? So we could have done this without using the sine law at all. We could just recognize that it's an isosceles triangle and deduce, our angle C. X, we still find the same way, is going to be 180 minus 75 is going to be 30 degrees. Cool. All right, so again, if there's an easier way, do the easier way. Highly recommend. All right, last question I have for you today. Charles is assembling a triangular wood frame for the deck he is building at his cottage. The first piece of wood is 23 decimeters long, and Charles attaches another piece at each end, creating 24-degree and 126-degree angles as shown in the diagram below. If the other two pieces of wood meet at a 30-degree angle, what length of wood does Charles need in total for this frame? All right, so we need to find all of our side lengths and then add them together to find out the total amount of wood that he's going to need. All right, so let's label our vertices and our sides. So let's do A, B, C. This will be A, this will be C, this is going to be B. Okay, I'll just slide across from it. So it doesn't matter where we start, so why don't we solve for A first? We can do sine A over A, sine B over B, sine 24 over A, that's what we're looking for, is sine of 30 over 23. We can cross multiply. Sine 24 times 23 is equal to A times sine 30. We divide both sides by sine 30. And we get that A is equal to 18.7 decimeters. No, I didn't leave myself very much room. Okay, the second one we can do with B and C. So I write it here. Sine B over B is equal to sine C over C. So looking to solve for C. So we get that sine of 30 over 23, same deal, is sine 126 over C. Good. So we cross multiply that. Sine 30 times C is equal to 23 times sine 126. Again, we divide by sine 30. And we get that C is 37.2. So let's go up here. The total length that we need is going to be A plus B plus C. So that's going to be 18.7 plus B. That's 23 that we started with. And C is 37.2. If you add it together, you're going to get that the total length of wood that Charles needs is 78.9 decimeters.